Graduated magna cum laude. What does that mean? I'm still stuck paying Sally Mae the next 16 years of my life. Is it me, or does that not seem right? See, I just wanna go back to playing tag and riding my bike. Damn life, now could you tell me when you get so hard? I remember my biggest worry were my Pokemon cards. I put a lemonade stand right at the edge of my yard. That seems so far, but now I hear that may be like far more. Yeah, and it seems like just yesterday, Jill was at my house saying, can Mark come out to play? Now we're both done with school, I guess the real world on its way. It's crazy how we go through life and take for granted each day. But hey, things change, and people change, and that's just a part of life. Don't believe it'll stay the same. Love with everything you got and don't anticipate the pain, because the day is the day. Your whole world could just change.
Направо проблемы! Скорее туда! Заберите меня отсюда!
I have a story to tell you guys. I heard it from one of you guys. It goes, the one thing I find the most memorable is the beginning of a match of conquest on a Tamaka desert. Two tanks, driving behind each other to the first objective and meeting each other when faced with the enemy while the chopper supports them. Meanwhile, I was able to get a full Humvee and drove with my teammates to the second objective while somebody on a squad was already picking off targets with a sniper rifle. The enemy is temporarily overwhelmed, and so am I, because I'm witnessing true silent teamwork. The battle for Flag B has begun, and I don't care if we're losing because I felt the adrenaline flowing through my veins. I knew that I had a team, when a medic and an engineer cooperated to destroy a tank and revive me. Wonderful. Nowadays I get headaches from the graphics and I really don't feel like a team anymore. Sometimes. But most of the times it's just the professional YouTubers and the noob mid-game leavers. Doesn't that just describe Battlefield Bad Company 2? I know that there's a huge amount of you guys that love Bad Company 2 and who were really disappointed that instead of revealing a third sequel to Bad Company, we got Hardline. Even more shocking, there was a lot of you guys who were disappointed when Battlefield 4 was revealed instead of Bad Company 3. Now a lot of the DICE executives keep hiding behind the excuse of you don't know what you loved about Bad Company 2 problem. So I started this series, where I tried to find specific features that we find either funny, exciting, memorable, or just damn entertaining. So the first episode of this series is to talk about your thoughts and opinions about what was awesome about Bad Company 2 and what can be done or added to develop Bad Company 3, if it actually happens, which I'm hoping this series will increase its chances.
How much can change in a year? You gain love, you lose love, you going out to your peers.
The Bad Company series was generally the first intro to a lot of console players, but as you guys said, Bad Company 2 was the game that got you hooked to Battlefield. With its awesome graphics, destructibility, great map design, and etc., this was the game that made Battlefield one of the biggest games in console today. It stood from traditional shooters. When Call of Duty was giving you perks, this was giving you gadgets. When most shooters gave you constructed maps, this gave you a sense of openness. It kept itself unique and memorable to you guys. Whatever you say about a first-person story like they're linear or unoriginal or plain Michael Bay explosions driven narrative, Bad Company 2 did it exactly like that. But what kept it memorable? Personality. You knew that Haggard was that funny hillbilly who didn't give a flying fuck, or Sweetwater was that smart idiot that can clear a whole room of enemies, can hack any computer, but manages to slip while walking. You knew that Redford is too old for this shit, and you, Marlowe, was exactly portrayed as you. The recruit who came out of nowhere, who knew all but still learning what to do in the situations that Bad Company 2 put you in. Bad Company's story had all of the over-the-top explosions and battles you can expect, but what kept it interesting is the Bad Company. The way you and your company reacted to those situations. Those reactions were the original aspect. Those were the unorthodox. Those is what you guys made you love Bad Company 2.
Buying clothes, cars, and diamonds, but you can't buy time.
Each map in Bad Company 2's multiplayer clearly looked specifically designed to a game mode, unlike recent Battlefields. Bad Company 2 maps were awesome because they worked well with a certain game mode or a set of game modes. And it included all of the game modes, meaning that certain maps were designed specifically for game modes like Squad Deathmatch or Team Deathmatch. Some were just for Rush or Conquest, which made you guys know that if you want to play Rush, then choose this specific map. And if you want to play Conquest, then choose that specific map. They didn't try to make a map for everything, or at least not all maps for everything like a sales box on Best Buy. This kept every game mode relevant to you guys. You were happy because it kept every map unique and interesting and not boring. And I especially noticed this because sometimes, or most times really, I'd play one game mode of BF4 and then I'd just call it a day because I'm either too bored to play another or just pissed off and frustrated to continue.
Cars and diamonds, but you can't buy time.
Back at the times of Bad Company 2, things were simpler. Simpler gameplay, simpler interface, simpler class setup, and a lot of simple things. A lot of you guys really loved this. You guys loved that the class setup was simple, and I had to somewhat agree with you guys. I mean, back when Bad Company 2 was released and I bought it on PS3, I always wished that there were more customizations in game. But once I saw Battlefield 4's customization, I regretted that thought. Not that I hate Battlefield's level of customization, I love that I can do anything with my gun. But I hated how confusing it was. There was too many unnecessary things to add to your character. Sometimes I just customize my gun and my sidearm, add the first and second gadget and play. I don't care what perk I should add or what knife. If it's not going to change anything with how I play the game, then I don't need it. I personally loved Battlefield 3's customization. It gave the simple interface of Bad Company and added more to it. Bad Company's customization was great for you guys because it gave you exactly what you needed. A gun, a sidearm, and a couple of gadgets to help you through some problems that you would definitely have without that. They didn't give you an unfair advantage to the other team, but they were better than having a stock gun that a new player would have. I wouldn't say that I loved the simpler gameplay though. I mean, it was better not to have the glare of your sniper scope or stupid bullet velocity, which I really hate. Or lastly, which is what all of you guys hate, is suppression. If it was any of those you guys hated in the recent Battlefields, then I'm with you. The gameplay in Bad Company 2 wasn't that great. I especially hated the sprinting. I wish I could strafe left or right while sprinting. I also wish if they added the ability to switch weapons or gadgets with one button like the recent Battlefields, because I use my mouse to do so. But you guys are right. Battlefield is getting too complex and they should make it a little simpler, especially with the amount of customization.
You're buying clothes, cars and diamonds, but you can't buy time.
Battlefield Bad Company 2 had the most awesome destructibility. Period. Granted that Bad Company 2 didn't have buildings like the one on Siege of Shanghai, but if it did, I think it wouldn't just stick to breaking just a few windows and leveling a skyscraper. I think, and you guys do too, that you can break a lot more than that. Like the walls of the building. For example, the mall or the underground store would be blown into pieces if it was Bad Company 2. Plus every building in Bad Company 2 was accessible. Something I can't really say about BF4, especially Siege of Shanghai. Destructibility is a part of Battlefield that we mostly fond, but also accessibility. I want to have the ability to access everything and anything that should be accessible. So as the people that play Battlefield. Battlefield Bad Company 2 Vietnam is the best DLC for Battlefield. I think it's safe to say that, right? Since it seems all of you guys agree. The Vietnam DLC was so awesome that it had its own standalone menu. It changed the whole game. You used different guns, different gadgets, even the vehicles were different. If you ever felt bored of Bad Company 2, the Vietnam DLC was the place to go to. It had the same gameplay mechanics as Bad Company 2, but everything else was different. From the epic soundtrack to the memorable scene of the napalm burning, the DLC made an awesome impact to every one of you guys. I think Battlefield 3 was the I think Battlefield 3 Aftermath was the only DLC that came close, and I think you guys would agree with that.
Cars and diamonds, but you can't buy time.
Now there was some of you guys that said the reason we love Battlefield Bad Company 2 was the memories, that we just remember the awesome things, that Bad Company 2 had its problems, but we seem to just forget those, that even Battlefield 3 came out and it had its own problems too, but we just remember the things that was awesome, and that this is just nostalgia talking. And that's normal from all of us Battlefield players. So on behalf of all Battlefield players, I ask you why? Why do we remember those awesome features about Bad Company 2? Why do we remember the awesome things about Battlefield 3? And while you're asking yourself this, ask why do we still after Battlefield Hardline was revealed, remember the bad things about Battlefield 4? Why do we still remember the bad things about Battlefield 4 while the new updates rolled out and fixed most of the problems in Battlefield 4? That's why. So, I hope you enjoyed the video guys. If you did, then give me the likes and give me the comments, and if you dislike this video, then I really don't give a fuck about the dislikes. Yeah. Also, subscribe to my channel because it really helps, and share my videos because sharing my videos will get my channel noticed. This was MZ101, and guys, see you later, and next time.
It's only just begun. Don't tell me our youth is running out. It's only just begun. Don't tell me our youth is running out.